to another episode of the Pure Projections podcast. And today we have a special guest. Let's talk politics. But before we welcome him onto the podcast, I just want to announce that we are having a debate between Purple Political Talk and Let's Talk Politics. So I'll let the two channels introduce themselves. Purple.
So hi, I'm Purple Political Talk, and I'm here a political YouTuber on the YouTube platform. I talk about politics on my channel. So, my views on politics right now, they're very independent. I call things for what they are. I look at things on both sides of the aisle, whether it be for the Democrats and the Republicans, and I give credit when credit is due, and then look at what is the best for the country and what policies impact our nation the best.
All right, LTP.
Hello, everybody. I am also a political YouTuber. I try to keep my channel unbiased while I am biased for the Republican Party. And I just post political videos, and that's pretty much it.
Going to be very interesting to watch this debate and UEP.
All right, so thank you to the two YouTubers for joining this debate, and they have agreed to these rules. Here are the rules. Each candidate, I say candidate because I'm attempting to be professional, but each channel will get 1 minute to discuss the topic. And so, for example, we'll alternate who goes first. Then we'll have a 30-second rebuttal, and if you go over time, I will give you a quick reminder, but I'll let you finish your thought if it requires an extra 3 seconds. But please don't ramble on. We don't have too much time, and we want to keep this as condensed as possible. So, without further ado, I would now let Purple Political Talk give their opening statement for this debate.
So currently, the United States is in a position where we're having a lot of problems, and they are being solved, but some of them are not being solved. In some cases, like foreign policy and the economy, the United States is performing a lot better than it was maybe just some years ago. But internally, domestically, the United States has currently failed to do many things, including healthcare, and acknowledge and fight for climate change. These are things that the United States needs help for. And I think, honestly, looking at many things that the U.S. needs, foreign policy and economy, which are two big parts of a country's needs, they are being met. And I think the president needs to deserve some credit for the things he's done for these two issues. However, for the things that he's not accomplished, those things need a lot of work. And as a country, we should come together from both sides of the aisle, my friends on the left and my friends on the right. We should all come together, be one nation, and find the best policies that are able to unite the country and get America to progress, not for the Democrats or the Republicans, but as a nation as a whole.
Thank you. Now I will let Let's Talk Politics give their opening statement.
Okay, as you guys know, we are in the middle of a crisis or a pandemic. Our economy, a couple months ago, before COVID-19, pre-COVID, our economy was doing good. But when COVID-19 hit, our economy just came crashing down till this day. At this point, our economy is the biggest issue. I think pre-COVID, the president was doing pretty good, but now I think he's doing at least whatever he can. But as of this point, the biggest issue right now is the economy. Healthcare is not doing as good as it usually does, but yeah, I think what Purple Political Talk says, I agree with him where he says both Democrats and Republicans need to get together in order to heal back this country from the pandemic.
Thank you, LTP. We are now going to talk about climate change. This is one of the main issues facing our generation as we are the future of this country. However, that does not come without its it doesn't come without its negatives. For example, climate change is a horrific thing that we are going to have to deal with. I will let Pure Political Talk open this topic, and they have 60 seconds starting now.
Climate change has been a thing that has affected our nation for way too long. The world itself and the environment is suffering for some of the decisions that politicians in the past have made. there are many things that we could do here. We could be somewhat radical about it and go and do this huge plan that does a lot of these different things, a lot of taxes and stuff like that. But I believe it's very simple. One, start to use more green energy in the country. Solar power, wind power. These are forms of power that could be used to reduce the impact on the environment. Another thing to do is to start helping Americans to move their diets a little bit and consume a lot less meat. Meat is the product that causes the most damage to the environment because to get a lot of these cows and a lot of these animals that Americans consume today, we have to make a lot of stuff out of it, which leaves a big carbon footprint. I think another important thing is starting to maybe tax a little bit, but not think something huge. Companies that are doing a lot of carbon fuel and things like that, but as well give tax credits or a lot more to those who decide to go to solar energy. So that's my proposal for climate change.
Thank you, Purple. I will now let LTP take the stage.
Okay, so first of all, I think climate change is one of the biggest issues that we are facing in the United States. I think um, I think we need to I think taxes should be lowered, but not too lowered because we do need some money to at least, go to the people who's trying to help our climate. But yeah, yeah.
All right, thank you, LTP. Before we start the next topic, are you going to disagree with anything that Purple said, or are you 100% on the same page with him?
Oh, were you asking me that?
Yes, I was asking you.
Oh, well, I 50-50 agree and disagree with him.
So what do you disagree on? Because ideally, in a debate, you would call him out for something you disagree with him on, and then you guys could debate it, which is what a debate is for.
I think we need to I think right now we need to lower taxes, but he did say raise a bit of taxes. But I think we should lower taxes. Honestly, that's the only thing I should disagree with him on, but otherwise nothing really much else.
LTP, I have a question for you, but we can lower taxes, and of course that's going to bring factors to the economy elsewhere. But we're talking about the environment here. So essentially, you're saying that by lowering taxes, the problems about climate change will go away.
Um well we do need to raise we don't really want to raise too much taxes, um but if our climate is really not doing as good, I think we should, you know, I don't think we should really raise taxes or think about it, but if we have to if it's like a must to protect our climate or whatever, then I think we should raise, but not too much for the point that we're raising taxes um with a high margin.
But again, we must remember that my proposal brings um, it's higher taxes, but for certain companies that use a lot of fossil fuels, and you also give incentives for people to stop spending those carbon footprints and all those things. And by using tax incentives, so you're balancing it out, and as long as we balance it out, I think economically we're going to be fine. And if anything, climate change and helping to fight it creates somewhat more jobs. So that is my stance on climate change, and I guess my opponent really agrees with me for the most part.
All right. So thank you, Purple. Now I'll let LTP start on foreign policy and his stance on this issue.
Okay, I think foreign policy it relates a lot to the economy right now. Um And foreign policy for the United States, I think, is shifting more towards where we not want to be. But it's kind of like how I was talking about the economy, but not exactly. We were foreign policy. It was a while back, pre-COVID. It was okay, but um, now we need to fix our foreign policy.
How would you plan to fix foreign policy?
Well, I think we should donate to we should start donating to hospitals. If we can do that, then less we can heal people better, and if we do that, we can heal the economy better because people go back to work, and then we start trying to rebuild our economy back up.
And how's that have to do with foreign policy? Foreign policy is regarding our relationships with nations all across the globe.
Well, I think nations all across the globe is also suffering from COVID-19, but some countries, or actually I would say a good amount of countries, are actually doing better than us, and I think we should start um start offering some trades, um and I think what we're doing with other countries, we should at least get together, or be friends at least, and try to make some good trades, because all our countries needs to really get back up.
All right, Purple, I'll let you share your stance with us.
So when it comes to foreign policy, of course the economy is very important. But LTP, he doesn't bring anything to the table when it comes to foreign policy. I mean, I think most importantly for the US, we're dealing with two major foreign policy issues. Instability in Latin America, with very authoritarian governments coming in, and governments that are trying to undo years of progress made by past administrations in those countries, where democracy is less of a given, and now people are going to have to protest and almost die if they want democracy in these places. The next issue is China, and I must agree with LTP. The economy is strongly related in this sense. And currently, that's one of the issues we have to fix. In Latin America, the best thing to do is helping opposition leaders go through and try to topple these governments that are being corrupt and these governments that are making their people suffer, which in some parts is also hurting the US economy because, one, we lose some trade from those places. For example, Venezuela, we had a very good trade relationship. Even though Chavez was president and he was somewhat had very radical ideas, the economy was doing very strongly there. And what happened? The situation in the country deteriorated. All the oil that we were trading went out the window. So foreign policy, currently also with China, I think that the best thing to do is strategically to put a lot more pressure, ban their apps, take some actions, do more sanctions, all these different things to get ahead economically. Now, when it comes to the other states or the other countries, I think that U.S. foreign policy towards Iran has been good. They've been getting back in retaliation to bad things the Iranians have done to us, as well as the Middle East. I must add, the UAE and Israel working together was a great thing done by this administration.
Thank you, Purple. LTP, would you like to rebuttal?
No. We can move on.
All right, Purple, do you have anything that you want to say? Because I don't want to take away from your 30 seconds of speaking time.
So I just want to say that
Finally.
foreign policy is very.
Ideally, ideally, it would have to be something related to what your opponent said.
So foreign policy is very important. But one thing I don't understand is how helping the hospitals elsewhere, if that's what I understand, is going to directly affect our economy here. Secondarily and through time, absolutely. I mean, the sooner we can get the global economy up, the sooner we're going to be able to trade, the sooner we're going to be doing all these other things. But it's going to take time. That's not going to happen immediately. And even just a recovery in an economy crash takes years. So I think that'll just be wasting our resources in a bad manner. We could be investing that in other things.
All right, I will let LTP. Do you want to respond to your opponent's criticisms or move on?
Move on.
All right then. I will let Purple take it away with healthcare. You have 60
Healthcare is a
seconds.
thing that many Americans have faced. With a lot of Americans now having cancer, we have COVID-19, which is an important thing, which is racking up healthcare bills for Americans nationwide. And I'm honestly going to say, Obamacare is what we need in the United States. It's been an effective healthcare system. Is it perfect? No, it has its flaws, but it also has a lot of its benefits. And I think Americans nationwide are struggling because healthcare is becoming more expensive and quality of care is decreasing. Many doctors and hospitals, they don't look at a patient as a patient who needs help with their health. They look at them as a number. I can get 5,000 from you, 10,000 from you, 30,000 from you. That is wrong. I think healthcare in the United States is broken. I think Obamacare started to fix it. I think we should eliminate some of its flaws and add on to it. For example, we could add a way that more the people that need healthcare and cannot afford it for them to join Obamacare and get a big part of their healthcare almost fully covered. And then you should also increase the quality of care at public hospitals.
Time is up. All right, thank you. I will now let LTP give his 60-second statement on this issue.
Okay, first I want to start with Obamacare. Obamacare, there are some things that are not doing good for people, and there are some things that are also doing good for people. Like you have to taxes is getting way harder with Obamacare. I think we need to lower the taxes, but yeah, but other things about Obamacare is good. But now healthcare during this pandemic, healthcare is a big issue because I think if you want to make your healthcare improve, I think you need to start following more directions, because if you can follow more COVID-19 directions, then I think you can then healthcare could go up. What I mean by that is, like wearing masks, but like what Donald Trump did say this. He said if you're healthy, all you gotta do is wear a mask and you can go in the public. I disagree with him. You should not go in the public, only in emergencies, like if you need food.
Your time has expired, so you can finish up your thought.
But yeah, I just think we need to follow more directions, but good directions. Not what Donald Trump said by yeah, that's what I disagree with.
All right. And as the moderator, I like to clarify with you. You mentioned that you want to lower taxes, but keep Obamacare. What does that mean?
Well, I don't want to fully replace Obamacare. I want to keep it, but some things that are in Obamacare, I want to take it out, and other things, the things that I want to take out with Obamacare, I want to replace them with something else. But while I keep Obamacare, and then the things that are good with Obamacare, we can keep them.
Well, what's good and what's bad?
Taxes is bad. You're gonna have to pay a lot of taxes. And what's good is that, well, it's kind of affordable, but it's not really affordable because taxes goes up for some people, and other people, they have different perspectives. It helps some people and it helps other people, but I want to make it where Obamacare can help most people.
All right, I'll let you respond, Purple.
What we're hearing from you is taxes, taxes, taxes. I think you think that taxes are way more important than the health of the American people. But other than that, I mean, you also mentioned COVID-19 prevention as a way to fix the healthcare system in the U.S. I mean, preventing COVID-19 is not going to stop you from having cancer. It's not going to stop you from having diabetes. It's not going to stop you from having to go to the hospital for injuries. And preventing COVID-19 doesn't mean that your hospital bills will go down for those other things. So I think you're completely mistaken when it comes to that. And honestly, taxes they're not extremely high. Of course, there's going to be somewhat of a tax increase, But again, the American people are getting a lot cheaper healthcare. And look at the people in Kentucky
Time is up.
and the people in rural areas of the country. They're getting cheaper healthcare because of Obamacare.
Thank you, Purple. I'll let LTP respond to your remarks.
Okay, one thing I did not mention, which I agree with Purple Political Talk, is that COVID-19 is not going to prevent people from prevent them from getting other diseases like cancer, getting hurt or whatever. I think we need to we need to figure out a plan that can make healthcare be affordable, not just for COVID-19, but for other things like other diseases like cancer. If you get injured, badly injured, we need to figure out a way, but we're just not there yet to protect a lot of things from the American people.
All right, Purple Political Talk.
So you essentially don't have a proposal. You just have things that are affecting Obamacare and why we should get rid of it. But if you don't have anything to replace it, then you're going to leave millions of people without healthcare. Especially a lot of Republicans in rural areas that depend on Obamacare to get fair, equal healthcare. Because no longer do people have to worry about having pre-existing conditions. And I think it's very unfair because a lot of these health companies, they're playing with people's lives like if they were a car. If they had crashed before, car insurance goes up. They were doing the same thing with people's ear. If someone had a pre-existing condition, they were charging a lot more. So you want to get rid of all of that and then just replace it, which I don't understand.
All right, LTP.
Well,
Ideally,
what? Go ahead. Were you about to say something?
No, you can go.
Oh,
no, I was saying that we were asking.
Yeah, when he said, when Purple Political Talk said, I want to replace it, but he doesn't know what I mean by that. Well, yeah. First of all, we do want to replace it, but we want to replace it with something better. But we like I said, we just don't. We don't have what we have, but
what is something better then? Because he's asking you, he's put forward a proposal. What's your proposal?
Something better is we have to figure out how can people afford healthcare. But I think number one is that if we can lower taxes, then that's one thing to make healthcare more affordable.
Well, how would lowering taxes make healthcare more affordable for people?
Because if you lower taxes, it's going to be cheaper.
All right, I'll let Purple state his disagreements with your statement.
For time reasons, I will say to pass because we still have some topics to discuss and we do not.
You are right about that. But all right, I'll move on. How to create jobs. So I'll let LTP start. If you were president or governor of a state, how would you plan on creating jobs in the modern America, rather?
Before he answers, I would like to say that can we make responses a lot shorter and make the rounds like just one rebuttal, if any?
Yes, of course.
Amendment to the rules.
All right.
Okay, first, we cannot create a good amount of jobs for a lot of Americans during this pandemic, because this pandemic's obviously going to affect trying to create jobs, because people they're not going to work, obviously, due to the coronavirus. So like I said, economy is one of the biggest issues. If we can fix our economy, we can create jobs, and we can get back on track.
And how would you plan on Well, I'll let Purple say his.
So, I mean, you mentioned everything about fixing the economy, but this is what the question is asking us to do. How do we fix the economy? The more jobs we can create, that means the more people are going to be out and spending, which means growth in the economy. Unlike LTP, I actually have a proposal, and my proposal is as following. one, increased number of small business owners in the United States, where we would give out low interest loans to those people who want to start a small business and give more funding for those people that need more funding if or more loans if they're going to have a higher amount of employees. That's more jobs created, and down the chain that creates a lot more jobs. And in addition, I would like to create more infrastructure and improve our infrastructure, which again is a great way to get a lot of Americans back in working.
All right, thank you. I will now let LTP give his rebuttal.
What all he just said, I agree with it. I think most of it, if not most, then all of it. I should have mentioned that. But that's all I gotta say. I missed it right there.
Well, he said that you don't have a plan. So would you like to clarify your plan, or just pass the baton?
Well, that was similar to my plan, but I just didn't mention it.
All right, I'll let Purple talk.
Again, for time reasons, we should move on. We only have 10 minutes left in the debate.
Okay, so we're gonna go quickly on this last topic. This is your opinion on Donald Trump. Specifically, keep it to one issue, and I will let LTP start this one. And LTP, I want you to give me an issue that you think Donald Trump has done a great job on it.
He's done a great job on what?
State one issue that you think Donald Trump has done a great job at, and explain why he has.
Okay, I think Donald Trump. Can this be pre-COVID?
Ideally, it wouldn't, because we're in COVID-19 right now.
Okay, during this pandemic, Trump has been doing whatever he can. Otherwise, I think he's not doing. He's not. I mean, he's been doing some things like he's been not doing like anything bad or good, but he's doing whatever he can.
All right, Purple, I'll let you reply, and for the sake of this debate, I would ideally have you point out something that you disagree with.
So I mean, he didn't say anything, but I would honestly say that COVID-19 handling could have been better. But again, like I said, I give credit when credit is due. And I think the president deserves a little bit of a break for some part of COVID-19, because a lot of the governors, like Andrew Cuomo, have been going through and saying the president's doing a great job when he had 9,000 senior citizens die of COVID-19 in his own state. So I think it's very unfair. One thing that I can point out that the president has done very good at is the economy. Look, before COVID-19, the economy was strong, and he took the momentum that was from the Obama administration. He duplicated it. However, during COVID times, he's taking fast, quick, and smart economic actions to go through, create more jobs, get the economy back and running with small businesses. He's gotten aid to bigger companies that have a big part of the workforce. You also have a lot of stimulus that's coming through. We might have another package of stimulus coming in soon. All these different things are very important for getting back the economy up. I think the president has done a great job at dealing with the situation and how fastly he dealt with it. Compared to, big economy crashes in the past, which took 3 to 4 years to completely kind of get out of them. At least when it comes to the stock market, we've gone back all the way up. And then with jobs, again, there's still a somewhat loss because not everything is open to the most of the capacity. However, I think the president has done a great job to the economy and actually pinpoint something he's done.
All right, thank you. And due to time constraints, there will be no rebuttal. This is our last, closing statements, and I'll let LTP do his first.
So this closing statement is about the debate, or
yeah, ideally it would be about what we've been discussing for the past half hour.
I think for political talk, I think he's been saying a lot of ideas that could work, but on my part, I think I should have said when I was talking, I should have said things like more clearly and add stuff.
So that's your closing statement. All right. Go for political talk.
So the fact of the matter is that America has a lot of issues from both, and they were all caused by either the left or the right, the Democrats and the Republicans in this case. And I think at this point in time, we should come together and do some of the policies I propose, which makes both sides of the aisle happy and makes the country look in a forwards way, like creating more jobs by getting more small business owners, which are becoming a big sector of our economy. Also, fixing healthcare by making healthcare more widely available, and that would cause the hospitals and doctors to look at patients less like a number, but more as a human being. As well as we also must commend President Trump for some of the things he's done, like the economy and how fast he's been able to react to it. And yeah, so lastly, I just wanted to say I really enjoyed debating my opponent today, and I want to make sure that you guys go check his channel out and subscribe to him. He has a very good channel, and he has great videos as well as I do. So if you're subscribed, so yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. So I want to thank both of the participants, Let's Talk Politics and Pro Political Talk, for participating in this debate. And we focused on the 5 main issues at hand for the American people right now, whether it be creating jobs or climate change. Also, be sure to subscribe to their channels. Can we get LTP to 100 subscribers? I think we can. Also, can we get Pro Political Talk to 600 subscribers? And hopefully, if I impress you as a moderator, you'll go over and subscribe to my channel. So guys, thanks so much for watching, and yeah, like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications for all 3 of our channels. Got it?
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.